Welcome everyone to another video, and I am currently in Argentina, Buenos Aires to be more precise. And we announced the new cup, this new Silverina cup on the Silverina live stream while we streamed the Buenos Aires regionals, which was super exciting. I'll include a link in the description to that Twitch channel, so start following that if you can. But came to this video to get my initial thoughts on the Rainbow Cup. So the Rainbow Cup starts June 1st and will run to the 30th. So those that are attending the Chicago Go Fest, this will be the theme cup for the Open Worlds Cup, and then any other theme cup that runs that particular week. But let's take a look. And there's some really interesting conditions here. So you can see here, there are 5 types: fire, electric, bug, grass, and water. So the typical elemental types plus bug. And the other exception is that it is only Pokemon from first and second generation and no Alolan forms permitted. So some really, obviously, bug and water and grass being the first time that they're appearing in a theme cup, at least that particular type. Obviously, dual types have been permitted in the past, and then the rest of the regular standard set of rules. But let's take a look at Poke to see what they have listed for the Rainbow Cup. Again, if you're not familiar with how to get to these rankings, click on the sandwich or the hamburger icon here to the top right. Click on rankings, right, and then click on the drop-down list here, and then select Rainbow Cup. And as you can see here, some early ranking leaders are Charizard with Fire Spin, Blast Burn, and Dragon Claw. Charizard being a fan favorite and used in previous cups in Tempest as a flying type, and as in Kingdom as the fire type representative. So should be, as we know, Charizard is a high DPS Pokemon with that hard-hitting attack stat for the Great League, and has access to Fire Spin, Blast Burn, and Dragon Claw. Blast Burn being a Community Day move and hitting super hard. So Charizard is probably ranked really high on this list because there are a ton of grass and bug Pokemon in Generation 1 and Generation 2. Another surprising pick actually is Fortress. Fortress has access to Bug Bite, Heavy Slam, Earthquake as its recommended moveset. It definitely would go Bug Bite over Struggle Bug. And then it recommends here Heavy Slam, Earthquake, and that's probably the moveset that makes the most sense. You can utilize Rock Tomb if you want to, especially counter fire type Pokemon, especially Charizard. It will basically one-shot Charizard with Rock Tomb. Obviously, its key matchups are the grass types, because with his bug and steel typing, it is going to resist their moves, and especially with Venusaur, where Venusaur only has access to grass and poison moves, which Fortress will resist. Obviously, it's going to get countered by the fire types with its double weakness to fire. If we go further down the list, we see more Community Day starters. So Venusaur with Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant, and Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb is useful to counter other grass types, and then as well, it will double resist grass with its grass and poison typing. Typhlosion with Shadow Claw, Blast Burn, and Solar Beam. The tricky part about the Shadow Claw is both a blessing and a curse for Typhlosion. One Shadow Claw generates energy much quicker than Ember. One of the fastest. It's kind of in that second tier of energy generation. And then with Blast Burn being super hard hitting and Solar Beam being also super hard hitting, will allow it to basically act as a really great closer, but definitely will not put out a ton of damage with Shadow Call compared to Fire Spin, especially on grass and bug types. Meganium with Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant, and Earthquake. Earthquake doing a lot of damage to fire types, especially with 2 Typhlosion. And under the right circumstances, it will actually be able to beat Typhlosion in the end game with that Earthquake move. So just because you see a Meganium at the end and you have a Typhlosion doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win that particular matchup, especially in the closed game scenario. Another surprising pick for me that I've been utilizing a lot in my practice Rainbow Cup battles with Trano Tips and with Zionic and the rest of the Argentinian players here is Beedrill with Poison Jab, X Scissor, and Sludge Wave. Poison Jab is going to be super effective to those grass types and even hits great neutral damage. And then X Scissor, again, very low energy requirement for X Scissor. Sludge Bomb gonna do a ton of damage with that stab damage from Beedrill. Again, key matchups are the grass types. It's gonna have a hard time against Mercargo because it is going to be weak to Mercargo's both rock and fire moves. Quagsire, again, being the only mud boy from generation 1 and 2. So again, with Mud Shot, Stone Edge, and Earthquake, with its water type, it's going to resist. It's going to resist the fire damage, and with its ground type, it's going to resist the poison damage. It recommends Mud Shot because Mud Shot generates energy very quickly and going to be able to get you to those closing moves of Stone Edge and Earthquake. Both Stone Edge and Earthquake will be super effective to fire types, and then as well Earthquake will be super effective to those that have a poison type that, or I guess at least be neutral. But the Stone Edge is going to do a ton of damage to bug types as well. So obviously you can see here, gonna have key matchups against Charizard, Ninetales, Beedrill, Raichu with that Earthquake. So Earthquake for the electric types. I forgot those electric types were there for a moment. And Mercargo, it's gonna be double super effective to Mercargo because of its fire and rock typing. It's gonna have a very hard time against basically any Pokemon that has grass moves. All right, and then Ninetales with that Legacy Flamethrower is what you're looking for. Without that Legacy Flamethrower, I would not use Ninetales. I would stick to Charizard or Typhlosion, but it does give you access to bulkier fire types when you compare it to Typhlosion and to Charizard. And then we also have Ivysaur here as an alternative grass type if you don't have Community Day grass starters. Azumarill, again, gonna super bulky, good diverse moveset with Bubble, Ice Beam, and Play Rough. That's probably the right move that you need because you're still gonna be able to beat the squishy fire types, and then as well Ice Beam is gonna deal super effective to the grass types, and then Play Rough is going to do good neutral stab damage to your opponents. Mantine, another surprising pick. Legacy Magneton, the first entry of electric type on the list. Then we have Kingdra, which I'm not 100% sure on. It has interesting typings because its dragon typing does resist water, fire, electric, grass, in addition to other things, but it's water typing. It does make it neutral. Ends up making it neutral to electric and to grass. But Dragon Breath is going to yield a ton of damage, especially with that stab dragon typing. Raichu with Thunder Shock, Wild Charge, and Thunder Punch. Thunder Shock being Legacy. And we see Mercargo, Raikou here. Going to be very squishy though. But it does have access to that neutral Shadow Ball. Does have access to Thunder Shock, so it's going to generate energy super quickly, and then Wild Charge hits super hard. Executor with Confusion is going to be interesting too, especially to Venusaur or any of those poison type Pokemon. Lantern, again, an alternative water Pokemon. But I'll give my thoughts on what I think the best water Pokemon is going to be. It does serve as both a water and electric Pokemon, which gives it interesting coverage. Heracross, Scyther, Victory Bell, Scizor, Blastoise. Blastoise I actually think is a little underrated. And I'll talk about underrated picks according to PvPoke, which will be situationally relevant to the meta. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Again, tell me if you're excited, you're interested, you're gonna participate in Rainbow Cup. And if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. And I look forward to seeing your comments down below. And I'll see everyone in the next video.